Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video episode on ForgottenWeapons.com. We're out here today with a neat old Spanish pistol. This is a JoLoAr, actually named after its inventor, Jose Lopez Arnaiz. He was a Spanish guy in the early 1930s who came up with the idea to put a lever, or a palanca in Spanish, on the side of a pistol. Now, his reason for doing this was to allow you to cock the pistol one-handed. So this lever comes down like that. I can grab it with 2 fingers, cycle the pistol open, and I'm ready to fire. This allows you to carry the pistol with the magazine full and the chamber empty, but be able to put the gun into action one-handed. So kind of a neat idea, you know, maybe not the most efficient thing in the world, but it was a novel idea at the time. Now, Arnaiz didn't have a factory or anything. He just had this idea. And this is very simple, I should point out. There's no mechanical anything inside here. This is just basically a nub on the side of the slide. So there's no extra leverage you're getting. This just gives you, it's the exact same function as if I grab here and pull. This lever just lets me do it with one hand. So anyway, Arnaiz had this idea. And so he went around to a bunch of the gun makers in Eibar, which was this very heavily gun-oriented manufacturing center in Spain. And he was looking for someone who would be willing to put this idea of his into production. And the group he ran into was a company called Hermanos Arrizabalaga, I believe is the pronunciation. A couple of brothers who ran a gun manufacturing company. And they had this pistol called the Sharpshooter, which looked very much like this, without the lever. It wasn't selling all that well. It was kind of a mediocre design, nothing real special about it. Nothing bad, but nothing real great. And so they figured, what could they lose? They'd take Arnaiz's lever, and they'd try it out on their Sharpshooter pistol, and see if it did anything to increase sales. Now, an interesting feature of the Sharpshooter was that originally, it did not have an extractor. It's a straight blowback design, and technically speaking, in a blowback, you really don't need the extractor. The gas pressure will throw the empty case out really quite consistently. The problem comes is, what if you have a cartridge chambered, and you're done shooting, and you want to take the cartridge out? Well, if you don't have an extractor, pulling the slide back doesn't do anything. So what the Sharpshooter design had was a lever over here, which popped the barrel up. There are 2 little springs here under the front of the barrel, and they allow it to pivot under spring tension. So when you were done shooting, without an extractor, you could pop the barrel up, pull the last round out, and safe the gun. This also made it easy to clean the gun, because you have direct access right through the bore. Now, Arrizabalaga had improved the pistol and added an extractor, but they didn't bother to get rid of this barrel tilt control. So they left that in there, and that's why this is still on the JoLoAr. Beyond that, it's a single action gun. You have to manually cock it for the first shot. Of course, racking the lever does that for you. The original Sharpshooters had trigger guards, but they found that the trigger guard got in the way of the lever, so they milled them off. Of course, this would be carried with the chamber empty, so this isn't quite as egregious of a safety violation as it otherwise would be. And these were ultimately made in fairly significant number. About 30,000 of these were manufactured, which is a lot better than the company would have done with the original Sharpshooter design. They were made in 5 different calibers. They were made in 25, 32 auto, 380 auto, 9mm Largo, and 45 automatic. The 9 Largo ones are the most common. This is a 380, which is slightly less common. Pretty much all the ones that are available in the US today were actually sold to I believe it was the Chilean mounted police, and they used them. They had a slightly different take on this whole one-handed thing, that being, if you're riding on horseback, you're presumably holding the reins of the horse with one hand, and so you only have one hand available to operate a pistol. And so they thought this was a pretty cool idea, and they bought a whole bunch of them. We have a pretty basic, fairly long, it's a 9-round capacity box magazine. Heel release. I mean, other than this lever, it's a very simple, basic pistol. So we're going to go ahead and load up some ammo, give it a try, and show you guys what it's like. All right, so I'm left-handed, but I'm going to be doing this right-handed so I can show you operation of the lever. This is a little tight right now, the screw there. So there we go. We have chambered around. There is no spring to hold this lever in place. It just sits wherever it wants to from friction. And then now, if I'm done shooting, what I need to do is take the magazine out, and then I pop the barrel up, and I can pull out the last round. Now, of course, the JoLoAr has an extractor, so I can actually extract this in the normal way. But that barrel feature gives you another option. You know, shooting-wise, this is really pretty much like any other blowback 380. Recoil's not that bad. It's a fairly heavy pistol for what it shoots. Yeah, comfortable. We found it shoots pretty good groups. It does have a fixed barrel, which is always helpful for accuracy. On the 9mm Largo versions, the front and rear sight are actually both permanently machined into the barrel, which makes for potentially a very accurate gun. On this 380 and the other small ones, the rear sight is just a little notch back here, right there, and then the front sight is machined into the barrel. So you will find these around. They're not real common, but they can be found if you want them, and just a real neat piece to add to a collection, especially if you're into unusual Spanish autoloaders. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tune back in to ForgottenWeapons.com for more neat old pistols. Thanks for watching.